Roxo Media House.
From the Flying T Club studios at Roxo Media House, this is Frogs Today, featuring special guests, TCU's FCA coach, Chauncey Franks, head women's tennis coach, Lee Taylor Walker, and we'll check in on Coach Dykes' press conference. And now, here's your host, the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Welcome into the Wednesday edition. It is Frogs Today. We come to you live from the Flying T Club studios with a busy lineup today. We got some women's tennis we're going to get into. We're going to be talking to FCA. Coach Coach Dykes is going to stop by. We've got his press conference. We got some sights and sounds from that Kansas game still to talk about as far as football is concerned. But first, we got some big announcements we got to start the day with. All right, you ready for all this? Because you're you might want to get out a pad and a pen here because I got some details to pass along. Big 12 Player of the Week, offensively, Quentin Johnston. Congratulations to him. Was also the Earl Campbell Award Player of the Week, thanks to his 14 catches and 200-plus yards on Saturday against Kansas. Oh, and the guy throwing it to him, Max Duggan, he was just honored by the Manning Award and the Davey O'Brien Award as well as part of their Great Eight. So tip of the cap to those two, all right? Audrey Knowles, you know her from Big 12 Volleyball, of course, leading the charge for TCU. She's the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week as well. Volleyball's in action tonight against Kansas. They get ready for the Big 12 season. So a lot going on. Tennis is going underway. We're going to get into that a little bit later on. The two golfs are going great. We know that. We talked about it last week. Speaking of golf, there's a big event coming up. It is it's the Horned Frog Classic, one of the big events of the year for the Frog Club. And joining us right now from the Frog Club as the head of the Block T Association, of course, John Denton. He's joining us now from Schollmeyer Arena. John, let's get into a couple of things. One is, this is a long-time event. I know that, the Horned Frog Classic that the Frog Club puts on. Give me some idea as to who this event benefits.
Right, Brian. Well, this is the 44th Annual Horned Frog Classic. This started way back in 1979 at Colonial Country Club, and just about every one of the Horned Frog Classics has been held at Colonial. It is the single largest single-day fundraiser for the Frog Club. Outside of football games and basketball games and sporting events, it's the single largest fundraising day for the Frog Club all year long.
All right, so it's the 44th Horned Frog Classic going on this year, but you were telling me this year is going to look a little bit different. In what way?
Well, as golf tournaments go, this is going to be a little bit different because this is going to be the last opportunity players have to be a part of the Horned Frog Classic at Colonial before Colonial undergoes a $25 million renovation. So for those who want to play the golf course as it's been for about the last 50 years, this is their chance.
All right, man, you've got me interested. Is there still time to sign up? Can I still get into this year's event?
Well, there's still room to play in the morning round at 8 o'clock next Monday at Colonial Country Club. We are sold out in the afternoon. There'll be 232 players taking part. We still have room in the morning, but they're going to have to hurry. Deadline for registration is Thursday at 5 o'clock at tcufrogclub.com. That's tcufrogclub.com. Get signed up, Brian.
All right, man, put me down. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great event next week. The Horned Frog Classic, the 44th annual. benefiting TCU athletics, of course. Their largest single-day fundraiser that they have all year. Still to come here on Frogs Today, Lee Taylor Walker is going to join us. But first, Chauncey Franks from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's going to join us here in studio right after we hear from him at a big event that he had earlier in the week, right now.
Hey everyone, this is Chauncey Franks with TCU FCA. Really excited about what God is doing through the ministry of FCA here at TCU. Tonight, we're having our normal FCA gathering, but tonight, instead of meeting inside the Showmire, we're out here at the outdoor volleyball courts and really just set an environment where our students can have fellowship, that they can have life on life, and they can just be kids, and we can encourage them in their walk with God. As they're in midterms right now, we just wanted to provide an atmosphere tonight where they can just have fun, laugh, be prayed over, and just have a good time being student athletes.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU, both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime and order online at daveshotchicken.com.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Texas-based Happy Water offers the best-tasting, sugar-free kids drink ever made. Happy Water comes in 4 delicious flavors that you can find at local retailers and on Amazon. Each pouch contains 0 grams of sugar, 0 calories, and 0% juice. Head to happydrinks.com for more information and to purchase Happy Water. That's HAPI drinks.com. Live happy. Be happy. Drink happy.
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com. Well, you just heard from him. Chauncey Franks from the FCA, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is in studio right now as we continue here on Frogs Today. I'm glad we wore the same shirt.
I know.
It's really special, man. Now, did you lay out a little flat man last night like I did? So I know it. Okay, good. As long as we all had all that covered. Chauncey, you were telling us there before the break about an event that you guys had on Monday night.
Yep.
Sand volleyball. It's part of the Monday night huddle that you pull together every week, right?
Correct. Yeah, so we meet every Monday night. We meet at 8 o'clock in the Showmire Coliseum. And the purpose of our Monday night is just to have a large gathering of student athletes and non-students representative of all sports. And one of our motto is no perfect people allowed. And so we like to set an environment and culture where regardless of where a student is at in their walk with God, we want them to feel safe. We want them to feel welcome. And it's a place that we're helping them build community and also pour the truth of God's word into their life.
I want to give folks some perspective here because we saw the footage from the volleyball court. We'll see, the banquet that takes place every year. But give me some idea about the number of students you're touching.
I would say we're touching probably close to over 200, close to maybe even 250. With everything that we do with one-on-one mentorship, one-on-one discipleship, team chapels throughout the athletic department, and just doing life. And I think one of the things with me being here at TCU for 13 years, Coleman has been here, I think, 8 years now. Yeah. We're doing their weddings. We're celebrating the birth of their kids. Yeah. We're helping them process through, hey, Coach, should I get a house now? It's so it continues. So it's not just while they're here at TCU. We are still walking with those students from here on.
So if I do the math right, about half the student athletes at TCU are involved in FCA.
It's quite a bit.
That's
quite
pretty
some
amazing.
Form of fashion.
Yeah.
Yep.
You mentioned the pregame chapels that take place. Mm-hmm. Virtually every team on campus has those. Give us some perspective on what's that like, and let's use football since we're in the middle of it right now. What's that like with the football program?
So with football team, we do that on Fridays at 7 o'clock. It's voluntary, and that's the thing that I love, that there's no pressure for the student athletes to come.
Right.
And so when they come in that setting, we use that time to, as they prepare their hearts
their bodies physically, we use that time to prepare them spiritually and mentally for the game. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years is just the reassurance of confidence. I think when student athletes can have their identity and understand that one is the game, but more importantly, that God has created them for this moment. He's given them the talents that they have. And the way that you honor God is to go out there and be your best. He believes in you, believe in yourself, believe in your teammates, and go make a thing happen.
All right, give me some idea as to how many football players walk into that chapel on Friday night.
We will probably, it's normally a packed house. We will have somewhere between 60 to 70 of the guys that are there.
That's pretty amazing.
And quite a bit of the coaches there as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the coaches because I know Coach Dykes has started a Thursday Bible study as well that you and Coleman are leading. That's pretty amazing. I love that idea.
We're walking them through the book of James, and if you know anything about James, James is about real life.
Yes.
It is about really living out your Christian faith and your faith. So it's been really good.
And that's been awesome on Thursdays. I know a couple of things I want to hit on. Mitchell Traver, the former baseball great here at TCU, just a good dude. You're able to bring him on staff.
Yes.
What's he able to bring to the table right now for you?
So for us, we've always dreamed about having a baseball-focused individual. And so what Mitchell Traver does is he's a young man who's obviously played here at TCU, has a tremendous faith, has a tremendous story. And we have talked about this over the years and just God's timing. We have brought Mitchell on staff, and he will be our full-time baseball FCA character coach.
I love that. I can remember when Mitchell was in school and he was kind of leading the charge for the FCA as a student. By the way, a couple of folks stepped up to make that happen too. I know Kirk Sarlos did. I know Matt Carpenter did in a big way. We want to thank them for making that happen, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. A couple other things here. There is there's one big thing that I wanted to bring you on about, and that's the Impact House. And this is a project that I know you're spearheading right now, where you bring small groups together there's a sport court already built. But it's time for us to upgrade that with the Impact House. Give us some insight into what that'll be.
Yeah, so last year we started this crazy project. We moved into a house that's 7 minutes from campus. We've been praying about finding a place that was close to campus in order to get students to our house to impact their lives. And so the Lord led us to a house that hadn't been lived in for years. And the kicker for me is there was a old tennis court that was built in the 1960s. Trees had grown through that thing, and I couldn't tell what it was when I initially walked on, but I saw the old net laying there on the ground. And at that moment when I saw it, I felt like God said, this is it. And so what we did was once we got to the house, we refurbished the house, we zoned off that area, created a nonprofit called the Court Ministry. And God began to give us a vision of opening up our backyard to impact the lives of student athletes at TCU, and then just students throughout the city of Fort Worth. And so with the help of others, we were able to lead the charge and to rebirth the tennis court. It has a big purple surface. And we've had TCU students, and even the momentum that we're seeing right now in this year started this summer. So we had 90 plus college kids at our house this summer. There were just being kids playing basketball, playing volleyball, hanging out, ice cream truck. The Fort Worth Chief of Police came out and shared. And so it's been a phenomenal place. And what we want to do as well too is that we want to create an impact house. And what I mean by that is that we want to have a space where when the college students and students throughout the city come over, they have a place where we can feed them. We can do life on life. We can lead Bible studies, and we can do discipleship, and that they can have a place where they can hang out and just be students and be poured into.
And it can become their place, essentially. You know, they can come by, study if they need to, whatever it is, just quiet time. But you'll have a full-on kitchen and all that in there as well. All right, if folks want to be a part of that project, how can they do it?
If they want to be a part of that project, I would probably say the best way would be to reach out to me. Again, it's a nonprofit, so it's a tax exempt for their donation. And we can give my number or even my
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put on the bottom of the screen your email address. Is that okay? We're going to put on the bottom of the screen your email address so folks can email you, make sure that they get in contact with you, and then we'll start the process there. We're going to get this done, man. It's going to be perfect, man. I love this because the impact, folks, not only on the TCU campus. I mean, you're kind of working throughout Tarrant County now, and that's where you're really starting to see some of those fields of faith and those huddle groups on high school campuses make a difference, right?
We have local high schools and junior high in Brock Middle School. They just had 300 kids there at their FCA huddle. There's a couple schools in Lido that are running the hundreds, a couple FCA huddles in the Mansfield, Arlington area that are in the hundreds. So God is doing some tremendous work with FCA across the greater County area.
Yeah.
And what our vision is, even with our TCU students, is that we want to empower them and release them into Fort Worth ISD to have a mentoring impact within that school district.
I love it. Chauncey, you're doing great work, man.
Appreciate it.
You're a good dude.
Oh, man,
Thanks for
appreciate
coming.
you.
And that is a really good looking shirt.
Well, thank you, man. Hey, I can say thank you as well.
All right, man. Chauncey Franks joining us here. His email address on the bottom of the screen there. We encourage you to get in touch with him regarding that Impact House. We got a lot more still to come on this Wednesday edition of Frogs Today. Lee Taylor Walker is going to join us. We're talking some women's tennis next, plus Sonny Dykes in his own words from his press conference this week still to come as Frogs Today continues in a moment.
Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Urban Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU. Both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime and order online at daveshotchicken.com.
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com.
Welcome back into Frogs Today here at the Flying T Club Studios on the Wednesday. Thanks for taking time to join us. A couple of more announcements for you before we get started. Some breaking news in that Mike Miles has just been named the preseason player of the year, Big 12 basketball. So good news for him. Emmanuel Miller also part of that all-conference team as well. Also wanted to update you on 2 other notes. One is Jalen Rager caught his first touchdown pass as a Minnesota Viking over the weekend. And Andy Dalton got the win as the Saints quarterback, 16-24 on the day, threw a touchdown pass as the Saints took care of the Seattle Seahawks. We shift gears now, talk a little tennis. My man Lee Taylor Walker is in the house.
Thanks
How you doing, man? Hey, I brought this. Can you restring this for me, Lee?
You know,
while we're doing the show, maybe? Or
this is a good opportunity for us to recognize our new director of operations.
Yeah.
Jonathan Pham. If anybody can restring this racket and give you hope to take it back to your glory days, it's Jonathan.
This is the only thing holding my game back.
I find that hard to believe.
Really?
But we'll take your word for it, okay? Yeah.
Lee,
this probably won't get us very far.
No, I don't think so. Let's talk about your women's tennis team, man. It's rock and rolling. The one thing that I've noticed and heard from multiple people is that you guys are bonded. I mean, there is a real team chemistry here going on.
Yeah, you know, it's really unique. As a coach, you try to build that.
Yeah.
You try to do everything you can to get it. But a lot of times it's just timing and everything coming together at the right time. So, yeah, we have a unique group. We're going to have 8 girls from 7 different countries.
Wow.
And they just have a profound respect and love for each other. And they enjoy playing and they work really hard. And it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
You got a couple you talked about earlier. Destiny is one of those. Destiny Martins from London, right?
Yes.
And then you've got Yuki Sai from Taiwan.
Yes.
Both they've kind of bonded.
Interesting.
And how did they bond like that?
Probably the most bizarre recruiting experience I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
We signed Yuki a year ago. She made her way in. Destiny was the JUCO national champion, 2-time JUCO national champion in the last 2 years. So she transferred over from Tyler Junior College, but originally from London, like you said. So they get here, and they're going to live together in July. So I introduce them, connect them through social media. And next thing I know, Yuki is saying like, "Oh, I didn't know Destiny spoke Chinese." And I said, "Well, I didn't know that either." She's from London.
Yeah.
How that happened. So really bizarre, really interesting. And Yuki, a little bit new to English, just the timing of it all is just like really amazing. So Destiny self-taught herself Chinese during the pandemic. Isn't that what you do during the pandemic?
I watched every episode of Seinfeld twice.
Yeah.
That's what I did during the pandemic.
So that shows you a little bit of the just intellect and talent Destiny brings. She's a really special person. And so when I first heard it, I thought okay, hello,
Right,
maybe
sure.
a little bit. No, she's conversationally fluent.
That is
And
awesome.
so, yeah, they're fluent. So that was my July.
Yeah.
Was we had them come in early, get used to everything, and I'm sitting there with them just experiencing this like right in front of me.
That is so
speaking
cool, though.
Chinese. So really great for Yuki to have someone like that.
Yeah.
And then Destiny actually just got accepted into the Chinese language program here at TCU. So she's going to be moving into the Chinese language house in January.
Wow.
And yeah, just bizarre. But so awesome off the court relationship.
Yeah.
But they're also phenomenal tennis players.
The other thing you benefit from too is, speaking of international players, Mercedes from Spain,
Yes.
is a captain, right?
Yes.
And great leadership there,
Yes.
right?
She's been through a lot.
Yeah.
We've had a rough couple of seasons with injuries, close losses, just things haven't gone our way, and she's been the one stable thing for 4 years, and she's catching her stride, and she just means a lot to me and my family, and just to all of us. And we would not want anyone else leading our team, and so she's doing a great job, and we're thankful for her kind of perseverance through. We're gonna have a great year this year.
Yeah.
But you don't really get those if you don't go through kind of the tough times together. And she's been just awesome.
What's that line they say? If the mountain was smooth, you couldn't climb it.
Exactly.
So when you're climbing that mountain, it's going to be rough a little bit. Tell me about your staff, because you seem at ease this year. I'll be honest with you. Like, I got my guys now.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes. So that also takes a while. Christopher Williams, he's been with us now. He's starting his fifth season. He started mid-year. So before here, he coached on the Pro Tour for 7 years and traveled the world with some of the best players in the world. He's coached at every Grand Slam event. And so a lot of our recruits, where do they want to be? Well, they want to be playing pro after college. And so to have his expertise around, and after a few years now in the system, he kind of knows, it's like, okay, I always knew the pro world. Now I know the college world, and now I know what I need to do to help these girls navigate to the next level. And so he's phenomenal. And then our new volunteer assistant was the first recruit I ever coached, Courtney Collins, and she was the captain of the Memphis team that went from 200 in the country to top 25 in the country. And she beat the national #1 player of the year. And she really understands our vision and values. And so she's connected awesome with the team. And I could go on and on and on.
Jonathan, don't leave out Jonathan.
Jonathan,
Yep.
Just went into full-time into our director of
Yep.
operations. I mean, the guy just does anything and everything. I mean, including,
Right.
he's going to string this for you.
Right,
But he keeps me and Coach Arditi going,
Yeah.
and keeps the programs afloat and all the paperwork and all the things that have to be done. So really thankful for him. And then Coach Todd Kinsler, strength and conditioning coach,
Yep.
has been around a while. He's all in. You don't have a lot of strength and conditioning coaches around the country that get excited to go all in for tennis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy loves the men's and women's tennis teams, and he is just fully present and gives us everything he's got. So, yeah, I sit back and kind of manage and let them do their thing, and with them plus Mercedes, like it does make it easy for me.
You spoke about how recruits want to play professionally. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. You got a couple of them doing that, playing in some professional tournaments now,
Yes,
right? They can
yes.
do that.
So Helena Normont, and yes, NCAA rules allow us to take our players to up to 7 individual tournaments a
Right.
year, regardless of what format that is, whether it's pro or college or open or whatever. So Helena Normont and Mercedes are actually in South Carolina right now,
Yeah.
playing at a ITF pro event.
Beautiful Florence, South Carolina. you
Doing
said,
great.
right?
Yes, they're doing great. So Mercedes just qualified for main draw, taking out Texas's top player along the way. So the tide's turning for TCU women's tennis, and we feel it happening. And it's been fun.
I'm going to see if I'm going to test my knowledge here
Okay.
about women's tennis. Is there a host school for that tournament
So
in Florence? Don't say it, because I'm going to guess if there is.
there's not.
Okay. Well, I was
But
going to guess.
it is about 50-50.
Okay.
You have a lot of the colleges will host these semi-professional
Yeah,
events.
that's what I
And
thought.
So we have one next week
Okay.
hosted at TCU.
How about that?
And so, and then, one of the unique things about tennis in the world of women's tennis right now going on, that is at Dickey's Arena in 2
Yes,
weeks.
exactly. And then it's a huge get.
Unbelievable.
Huge get.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like
My wife saw that and she was screaming. I was like, what?
Yeah, really, really unique.
Yeah.
And I think most of the tickets sold out
Yeah,
in the
I
first
think
2 to
so.
3 days. But they're going to be utilizing a part of our facility for some of their practices and things.
Good.
And so anytime our program can be around that level
Yeah.
and just see what it's like, it gives them more belief in themselves. And so
Before I let you go, one other big announcement today. This was huge for your program.
Yes, big announcement. So Tiffany Fakay, graduate transfer from Ole Miss, has been playing professional tennis as an amateur for the last year and been doing really, really good. And she signed with us on Friday.
Wow.
So we're officially announcing that this afternoon.
Good game.
And really big for us. She just beat the 270 WTA player in the world. And she's going to be coming in with those same aspirations.
Yeah.
Like, visited here, loves TCU, saw the tennis community and felt very different about what was going on here. But wants to make it her home here for her 10-year pro career.
Yeah.
Not just, her 1 year
I love
here.
it.
So really excited about her. And we've got a great team.
Two other off the beaten path questions. As a tennis coach, do you love or hate pickleball?
Well, that's a tough question.
Okay.
I'm going to have a lot of critics out there on me now.
Yeah.
I love pickleball.
Good. I
Yeah,
like it. I'm
yeah.
glad. Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Now my boys are 5 and 6.
Yes.
I said you got to learn tennis first.
Right.
I'm not against pickleball.
Right.
But it's like tennis is like the classical music
There
of
you go.
racket sports. So if you can play tennis, you can play ping pong, you can play pickleball.
So pickleball's rap.
That's a good way.
Or hip hop. Is that what it
Yeah,
is? I
maybe.
got it.
Maybe
I'm
that's a
with-
good way
yeah,
to put it.
I'm with it.
could
I love
be.
it. All right. Second thing is, I want to thank you, and I want folks to know some of the efforts that you do in the community, Lee. I know you're involved at Hope Farm, among other projects, and,
Yeah.
and you take that very seriously. And I want to thank you for that.
Sure. Well, no, you got it. Well, that I would hope that's the lifeblood of our program.
Yeah.
I just really believe it's hard for someone to reach their full potential if they don't reach it on the inside first.
Yeah.
So we try to provide opportunities for the girls to create perspective in their life. Division I athletics is pretty intense, and it's really easy to lose track. But I had coaches do that for me.
Yeah.
And once I got perspective, I actually played better. So we don't do those things so that we'll play better, but it really is a byproduct.
Sure.
It's like once you have a healthy perspective on life, you find that you'll enjoy the competition and actually play better. So your wife's been awesome.
Well,
with
it's
that,
good
and
stuff, man.
She helped pull us into that, and we're very grateful for that.
It's a great place. Lee, thank you for coming by here,
Yep,
man.
you got it.
Proud of what you're doing. Looking forward to the year. It's going to be fun.
Thank
It's
you
gonna
for
be
having
exciting.
me. Thank
All
you.
right. There he goes. Lee Taylor Walker joining us. A good man right there, folks. A couple of things real quick. We got some sights and sounds from Kansas from the game day experience. We're going to see that here shortly. And then coming up, we've got Sonny Dykes, his press conference, in his own words, the head football coach, right around the corner. Right now, let's see a little bit else of what happened in Lawrence, Kansas, the Horned Frogs and the Jayhawks last weekend. Here's some sights and sounds from game day from our producer, Jay Fitzgerald.
I've been up for a long time. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. I've been up for a long time. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I've been up for a long time. Broad day, I've been popping pills, pouring syrup. Every day, cause only get at my auntie out. Bendo, selling I got shooters dressed in camo. I've been in and out the courthouse.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Texas-based Happy Water offers the best-tasting, sugar-free kids drink ever made. Happy Water comes in 4 delicious flavors that you can find at local retailers and on Amazon. Each pouch contains 0 grams of sugar, 0 calories, and 0% juice. Head to happydrinks.com for more information and to purchase Happy Water. That's HAPIdrinks.com. Live happy, be happy, drink happy.
Back we come on Frogs today. Time to talk some football. Of course, Friday will be our football intensive Friday. Got a couple of special guests you want to be around for that here on Frogs today. Right now, though, we get to hear the words of the head coach, Sonny Dykes. His team number 13 in the country, favored going into this game against Oklahoma State by a lot of prognosticators. We'll get some sense as to why that is as we check in on Coach Dykes' press conference. Here's the head coach in his own words right now.
All right, happy to get back at it this week. It's a good road win for us. I think anytime you go out on the road, you win a conference game. It's a big accomplishment, especially in this league right now. I mean, you look at the Big 12. It's from top to bottom, it's as good a football as there is anywhere in college football. The team that's picked last in the league is Kansas, and they're playing as good a football pretty much as anybody in college football right now. So just shows you, again, top to bottom, how competitive it is, how difficult it is to win, particularly on the road. So it's a good win for us. And the good thing about our group is I think we were excited about it on Saturday and celebrated it, and got the sense on Sunday when they showed up for practice that we had moved on, and had a really good practice today, and haven't heard one of our players talk about the game. So I think we got it behind us, and we're ready for the challenge that's Oklahoma State. We've gotten off to a good start. But we don't have a ton of skins hanging on the wall. We don't have all the answers, and I'm not going to go over at lunch and split the atom or anything. So we still got a lot of work to do. I think they understand why we do things, and I think that they have an appreciation for why we do them and why they're important and how it's going to help them win. Now they're starting to figure it out that look, there's a method behind the madness, and I think they just believe in kind of what we're doing and in each other. I think that's the biggest thing. And when a team starts getting confidence, that's when the team starts, having a lot of success and starts doing things maybe people thought they couldn't do. Probably the most important thing in anybody being successful, whether it's a salesman, whether it's whatever it is, a football player, a football coach, anybody that has a job, I'm not so sure it's not confidence. One day at a time, really, and that's pretty lame, I know, but it is truly, you're just kind of like, man, let's just try to have a good Wednesday practice and see where that takes us. And so that's been our mantra. We never really talked about team goals. We didn't write a bunch of stuff on the board or any of that. I mean, I just think what you do is you do the very best you can every day, and you continue to raise the bar. And the more success you have, it's like I told the guys, the more you have to work. You just got to keep working harder. The more success you have, and because the expectations get higher, and the games mean more. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I anticipate a packed crowd and great student section, and I think that there is our students here really are enjoying being a part of this. We've got a great student body. I think this is one of those places where, when people are deciding where they want to go to school, I think obviously academics is always going to be the most important thing, but there's a number of students that want to go and enjoy, being part of the athletic programs. I think it's going to be a great crowd. I think our guys will be energized by the crowd. We certainly played in a very hostile crowd in Kansas on Saturday. I mean, that was an awesome crowd. It's loud, and you could tell that it really energized their players, and we're looking forward to having that same kind of environment.
All right, Sonny Dykes getting ready for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. It happens at 2:30 on Saturday. It's homecoming, going to be a full house. But we get to break it down in further detail coming up Friday on Frogs Today, our football intensive Friday. Casey Paha, the former Frog quarterback, is going to be by. We've got our roundtable of experts that is going to be here with us. We're also going to have a special visit with Kate Dykes, the wife, the first lady of TCU football. She's going to be with us coming up on Friday as well. Until then, remember, we need you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to frogstoday.com and to our YouTube page here. Frogs Today, of course, is your keyword there. Thanks for joining us for this Wednesday edition of Frogs Today. Until we see you Friday for Football Intensive Friday, have yourself a great night.
Frogs Today is brought to you by the Flying Tea Club, supporting TCU student athletes, and by Richard's Rainwater. Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Frogs Today is a production of Roxo Media House.
Roxo Media House.